Hi, I'm Melissa from Going My Own Pace, and I have some very sad news today. Not like super sad, but sad. So, I'm a woman who has multiple t shirts, like 3 or 4 t shirts, about coffee. I have a lovely purple one that says Espresso Yourself, and another one that says Mama Needs Coffee. I love coffee. I love the taste, I love the feeling, I love making it all sorts of different ways, but it does not love me. So since I've got a long history of IBS, but it wasn't diagnosed properly until like a couple of weeks ago. And I've kind of managed pretty well on my own, but things have come to a head, I guess around, so as the endometriosis was getting worse, obviously the symptoms of the IBS were flaring, but I didn't know. I didn't know enough to differentiate, right? All I know that was that everything in the area hurt. Then I had my super heavy painful periods and I had a lot of bloating. I didn't know what was what, right? I had the urinary symptoms, the bowel symptoms, and then the endo symptoms. So after my operation last year, I had endometriosis, excision, and hysterectomy. Obviously, there was a lot going on with my abdomen. Again, so much going on. Who knows what's happening there? But then I realized I was having quite a lot of flare-ups with my stomach, and they'd already kind of talked to me about the interstitial cystitis, or the urinary issues, and so I thought maybe it was that flaring up. And I did have a couple of flare-ups. I realized that artificial sweeteners are not my bladder's friends, and they cause a bad flare-up. But if I avoid them, I don't tend to have any flare-ups, so relaxed. But in the last few months, I've recognized that I'm still getting bloated, still getting stomach cramps, and I was having a lot of, shall we say, evacuations. And I couldn't figure out what it was. I was avoiding dairy like the plague, because if I have dairy, the rest of my day is ruined. Like, it is a really high level reaction. So I went to my doctor and I just said, look, here's all the symptoms. We've never talked about this, but obviously something is going on here. And I'm losing like entire mornings or afternoons to the bathroom. The other day the kids were nearly late to school because I couldn't get out of the bathroom. And unfortunately, I have recognized that caffeine is a problem. So what I have done is I got this special decaf coffee. It's called Clippers Decaf. I got a special, like just a free sample in the shopping, and I tried it and I thought, oh my goodness, that actually tastes like coffee. Great. And so what I've been doing is, at first I did 3/4 instant coffee Moccona, 1/4 of this in the morning, and that was fine, but I still had a bellyache. So then eventually I did half and half, and now I'm doing 3/4 decaf, 1/4 caffeinated, and that has been really great. I have not had a bellyache in the morning. And it still tastes like coffee, so I'm still a happy lady. So what's been happening is, my first coffee, when I get up, it's that 3/4 decaf, 1/4 caf. I could probably just go straight to decaf. I just like the taste of coffee. So I'll play with that later. But my second coffee, so the only other time I have coffee is like after I've dropped all the kids off and I sit down quietly, and I usually have a nice one. So I've got some dairy-free cappuccino sachets, or I'll have a caramel macchiato. It's like a tall caramel macchiato, but like only one shot of coffee. Or I'll make another mix, but using the mocha pot of decaf coffee. So essentially I'm having minute amounts of caffeine now, and it is unfortunately going well. So thank goodness for decaf that tastes like normal coffee. But yeah, having the decaf coffee has made a massive difference for my stomach, and it's also made a difference. I've noticed that I'm not getting crashed as much. So what happens is, you kind of have the coffee, you have this tiny little period of maybe a little bit extra kind of feeling of energy, and then poof, you're crashed. And if I was ever having a proper coffee with like maybe a double shot espresso or something, I would crash hard. But also now I've noticed that it doesn't make me feel well. Like, I feel nauseous and bloated and icky, and then evacuation. So clearly it took me so long to cotton on, and this happened with dairy as well. It took me so long to cotton on that my reactions had to get more and more extreme before my body got the message, which is a shame, but hopefully I can soothe my belly now, because the last flare-up was a terrible, horrible, awful one, and my stomach was spasming for like the rest of the day. So yeah, I am now a decaf drinker. This stuff is good. I don't know if you can get it where you are. I'll have a look on Amazon. It's Clippers Super Special Organic Decaf and Fair Trade, which I feel like is important. So yeah, I'll see if I can find a link for you, but there you are. Has anyone else been in the same boat? This whole IBS thing is so confusing, because obviously the only thing the doctors really know about is FODMAP diet or muscle relaxants to protect your stomach, or to, reduce the pain. And my doctor did give me some specific muscle relaxants for, I guess it's for the gut, because it's about keeping my nervous system calm. So we don't want me in so much pain that my nervous system gets set off. So that's the rationale for treating the IBS that way. But the thing is that with the FODMAP, obviously dairy, but it's the lactose is part of the FODMAPs, but dairy itself is not. It's just the sugar called lactose in dairy that constitutes the FODMAP. So it's not always a FODMAP, and this is why it's so important and why I talk about it a lot. And I've been refining everything, I think, as I'm writing my next book as well. You have to find your own intolerances and avoid them, because they'll come out in certain ways, right? They'll irritate your bladder or your bowel, or they cause other issues. And if you're ignoring these things and more issues are happening, then you're getting inflammation, and then who knows what, right? It's a whole domino effect. So it's really important. So yes, this is where we are, but it all adds up to the better picture. Let me know, do you drink coffee? Do you drink decaf? Do you have a favorite brand of decaf? And I'll catch you again soon.